Hey everybody, today's episode of TTS Today, we're going to continue in the data file section, so a little more maintenance, getting things set up in TTS. Again, showing you different features of the new platform. We're going to go over products, so we're going to eventually import a product. We're going to go over the product files and the different sections that are created when you create a new product or a vendor, and we'll show you price sheets, special pricing import, and how to manage all that on today's episode of TTS Today. All right, so under data files, you click on products and you get a whole bunch of selections here. We're going to do product file today, go over the different parts of a product file. And when I click on that, it's going to bring us up to a blank screen. So at this point, we can create a new vendor pretty much. So let's create one called Steve's Flyer. Okay, and that just created a new vendor for us, and then we can do the import. Import's going to be on another section, but what I want to go over today is just show you what happens when we create a product file, as well as after the import, what it looks like. So actually, let's look at what happens when we create a new file. We create a new file, it creates 3 separate sections for us to work with in the product section. So as an example, let's say we're going to use aluminum wire, aluminum cable. So if I click on aluminum cable, the initial screen that pops up is just a list of all the products that were imported. We have groups, column pricing 1 through 10. You also have the ability to put in a UPC code, okay, the product number, description, and this can all be imported using an Excel workbook. The next part is going to be your customer level. And before we even go to customer level, let's look at aluminum cable discount. So how the discount level works in this system is there's 2 methods of discounting. And exactly what that is, when you create a quote, this will allow you to automatically adjust the pricing based on a lot of different things, different levels and different groups. So we create a table that will figure out all these calculations. So basically we're looking at the base price multiplier in this section. In a second, I'll give you a column pricing example as well, which would take the 1 through 10 pricing from our import. So base price multiplier, as simple as that. We have group names. So our products can be labeled as different types of groups. Within those groups, you can have different levels. So if I had SER and I wanted to go to list price, that's going to be 1, because it's going to be the full value that's listed in the initial import. If I have SER and I have a key level, so that getting a discount, I would actually do a multiplier of 0.75. So once this is built, and this is built manually, when you go into a couple of areas in the system, it allows you to check prices. We do have that ability under products in our product price sheets, as well as when you go into quotations. When we build a quote and you do there's a pricing button, which we'll cover in another video. It will automatically look at these values based on the price, based on the product, and based on the levels, and we'll do this calculation for you, so no one has to remember what pricing level for what customer for what group is necessary. And with that in mind, let's actually go back 1. So I'm just going to go back, and I'm going to drop this down, and I want to use our customer level. So I did mention that based on the customer, so we could build a discount level based on a customer as well as a multiplier. So here's a list of all the customers in the system, and notice how a distributor has a drop-down box next to it. If I click on that, since we're working in aluminum cable, it's going to give me all the levels that I created in that previous screen. So once we have that, we can adjust these levels here and choose a level if a distributor gets a list price. And now what this means is next time I do a quotation or check a price online, if a distributor is chosen, it will give the list price for that particular group or product that is selected. So The other type of discount level that is created, or discount that's created, I will show you is the column pricing. Very simply, let's go to James. Actually did a nice one for discounts. When this opens up, you'll notice that this is going to be a column pricing. So basically, just like the multiplier, you have group names, and in this case it's just all. So another thing to note is if you don't have groups designated, you create one as all, and that will allow this pricing discount file to work properly. He made 3 levels: gold, silver, and bronze. So the gold gets level 1, silver gets level 2, bronze gets level 3. And again, this is all automatic, based on either through the pricing sheets in the lookup or in a quotation. Next section we want to discuss is going to be our product file import. So when I go to product file import, we're presented with this screen. We could choose our vendor. So I created Steve's Wire, for instance, and we can download our template. Basically, the manufacturer is going to send you all this information. We have to get it into a specific form that will import correctly into TTS. So we provide a Excel template, and basically this is all the information that you saw when I dropped down the product file initially. Product number, description, manufacturer, price per, price, weight per, weight, and group. Everything else is optional. As you can see, the columns marked in red, headers, are required fields, and then you can put as many pricing columns as you want in here. Reference in UPS is not required. Group, very important. Again, if you want to create different groups of products, which will enable you to price them accordingly, you would put a group in here, and that is what was built in that product file discount section. The weight, of course, weight per each, hundreds, thousands, price, same thing, price per each, hundred thousands, the manufacturer's name, the description, and the product. Once you get all this data entered into this workbook and save it, you would just drop it into here and it will automatically import into the system. All right, so let's move on to product price sheet. So what that will do, as I mentioned in the last section, is it will give us a couple of things here. Price files created from a product file for a specific customer. So if I have aluminum cable and I have a specific customer, a distributor, and you notice a distributor I think I had as list price, or I may have changed it to list price. I can view on screen, click on this, and this is going to give me all the prices based on the aluminum wire and the selection that I just chose. So these are going to be the unit prices. If I go back and I choose somebody else, depending on how it's set up in our product file, that's what this is going to do. So this is a quick way of getting a price sheet based on a customer level pricing that we built in the product file. And to take that to the next step, we can go price file created from a product file for pricing levels. So let's say I wanted to see all the aluminum cable, but I wanted to see all the list prices. So this will give us the ability to view on screen of all the list prices for that particular option that I chose. And you can export this to Excel in a couple of areas. If I go back, you can create Excel right off the bat. But if I wanted to see the key levels for aluminum wire, and this is again just like a quick lookup on the screen, view on screen, and it'll give us the key levels. And these prices did change based on the selection criteria. One other thing in this area, and this is something that we haven't touched upon, is price sheet files from company price sheet folder in TTS Cloud. The TTS system does have the ability to add data into the cloud, TTS Cloud, and these price sheets basically have just been loaded in there. So you can load all your price sheets, and this is raw data. Notice they can be in JPEG form, they could be in XLS, XLSM, PDFs. So basically any data that's put in the cloud will show up here. So this is a quick way to access the pricing files that you have loaded into the cloud. And we'll go over the cloud in another episode. Until next time, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.